This is where the fun begins.
Hello, everyone. I never do this whatsoever, excuse me, on my channel, but I decided to go ahead and do a review of the Obiwan Kenobi trailer. Something in me was telling me I need to do this. I've seen it already, so you're not getting a first-hand account. This is going to be just basically on the context, not on visuals and all that other stuff, because something could be visually pleasing, yet the story and the context is terrible or doesn't make sense or leaves more questions. And, you know, I'll just say that The Last Jedi proved that, right? So I'm going to go into the trailer. I'm going to pause, and so we don't go too much into it to avoid any discrepancies and any strikes that I may get or may be possible with this. So I'm going to be as cautious as I can going into this. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll know how much I've been discussing this and the continuity errors and how this is so lore breaking, I guess you can say, when it comes to Obiwan Kenobi and his exile, where we know from the context given from the Revenge of the Sith all the way into A New Hope, excluding the EU, and I'll get into that he goes into exile. He stays on Tatooine exile, protecting Luke and training and keeping hope for the survival of the Jedi. And with this trailer and the context that we've been getting out through and hints and leaks and all this other stuff, we are seeing a Kenobi that is basically defeated and with no hope. And it doesn't make sense 10 years later. Within the first few years, it makes sense, and we'll get into that some more. But 10 years towards A New Hope, we should see more of a Obi-Wan that is hopeful, training, has guidance through Qui-Gon to remain hopeful, right? So let's go ahead and get into this trailer here. Now, I fast forward it, so we're not going to see the whole trailer in its entirety. Like I said, I want to go into the context of this. So let's do this.
The fight is done. We lost. Stay hidden.
All right, there. So we have this stay hidden. The fight, we have lost. The Jedi are gone, basically. But the thing is, this is 10 years after. We already know this. So we should have a different context from Obi-Wan instead of eluding like this is just right after Revenge of the Sith and he's going into hiding, right? Stay hidden. All right, yeah, we know he's supposed to stay hidden on Tatooine. Tatooine is a place that is very desolate, vast, not a lot of settlements, especially during that time, not a lot of settlements. So he should have plenty of places to settle and stay hidden. And the Lars place is so far out from even Anchorhead that that they're basically well hidden as well. And that's the whole point of him going to Tatooine, is to protect Luke, stay in exile, stay hidden, and train, start communicating with Qui-Gon, learning how to become a Force ghost, and remaining in hope that the Jedi is going to be restored, right? Now we get that you know, he has his regrets on things, right? We know that already. We've seen that in Revenge of the Sith. We know that already, but now we need to see a turn of him coming into like realization that everything's gone, but through Luke and possibly Leia, there's hope. And we're not seeing this as of yet. We're just seeing desperations of his loss of hope and wanting to give up. And that's what this whole series is alluding to, as well as all the information that's been given out in the media as well. So let's go ahead and take further gander into this. I'm going to go ahead and get past that.
The key to hunting Jedi is patience.
cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail.
So we are to believe that 10 years later, okay, so yeah, we know that they hunted in the original lore, that they hunted Jedi all the way up to like close to New Hope, like maybe a few years before New Hope and stuff. But we have to think now that they are still hunting down a lot of Jedi when majority of the Jedi were taken down within the few years of the Purge, the beginning of the Purge, Order 66. And so I'll go on with this. I'm leaving this dangling here with this little question here. So let's go ahead and move on.
The Jedi code is like an itch. We cannot help it. Where is he?
All right, so the Jedi code is like an itch. He can't help it. Where is he? That's alluding to Obiwan Kenobi, not just no random Jedi that they're talking about. We know in the original lore that Obiwan Kenobi's in the Kenobi novel that he is having trouble separating himself from the Jedi, and that he has to learn to still remain a Jedi, but not be a Jedi and become, I guess, basically a normal citizen of Tatooine. And that was very difficult for him to do in the beginning of the Kenobi novel. Once we get towards the end and stuff, he's finding his pace. And then later on, about within 2 years after Revenge of the Sith, the last of the Jedi, he is put on a mission to where he does leave Tatooine. And we're going to get into that part of this trailer here. He does leave Tatooine, but the mission was or is to make sure any evidence of the twins' birth is destroyed, no longer existence, because that can put his and Yoda's mission in peril. And so that was very understood. So everything that Obi-Wan needed to do during that time frame are to make sure that they stay in exile without any indication or any interruptions from the Empire, and any of that is to, it's taken care of. Sorry about that. It's being taken care of within the 2 years, right? And that's the time frame of that in the original EU. Well, I couldn't spit it out, right? But with this is 10 years later. 10 years later. To me, that doesn't make sense. Everything that needs to be taken care of, anything that needs to happen that puts Obi-Wan in a predicament should happen closer to the beginning of his exile, instead of in between exile and A New Hope. So let's go ahead and finish watching this. Let's rewind that. I thought I seen that look like Owen Lars with the Inquisitor, but I could be wrong. Let me see. Let me rewind this a little bit here. That was weird. Okay, pause here. So I don't know who that is, but it almost looks like it's Owen Lars. And if that's Owen Lars and they are confronting him, it doesn't make sense. To confront Owen Lars. Now, I can understand they're trying to do this for drama and suspense, but why? Why Owen Lars when it shouldn't even be apparent that he is someone to suspect, right? And Owen Lars, now they're making him dumbed down, because if he's confronting them and he's confronting the Reva or whatever her name is, that Inquisitor, and I think this is her right here, and he's doing it himself, he is putting Luke in jeopardy, which makes no sense. He's putting Luke in jeopardy. If anything, if he suspects anything that's from the Empire, he should be hightailing out, getting him and his family out of town, right? And back home, out of the obvious and back home to protect. So this makes no sense whatsoever. And I get it. They're trying to do it for drama, but when you look at the context of the story, it makes no sense. All right, let's go ahead and go back to let me try to go back where we. All right, and there you go. So there's the trailer, and we have this right here. So this is the teaser trailer. There's a lot going on in there. I'm not trying to judge it on the visuals here whatsoever, because like I said in the beginning of this, that The Last Jedi has some stunning visuals, but the story and its context is so out of place and breaks continuity that I want to focus on the context here. So what we know, Obi-Wan is still downtrodden, still, and he's losing hope. He is still in this bad state of mind 10 years later. And then we have him saying, I must stay hidden. Well, then we know that he leaves Tatooine to a new planet. And I wish I remember the name. It starts with a D. Sorry about that, people. He leaves Tatooine. And we have the Inquisitors looking for him, explaining that it's hard for him to not be a Jedi, which we've seen that in Kenobi novel. But again, this is like right after Revenge of the Sith, and he starts coming into terms that he can't remain a Jedi, right? And so this is 10 years later, and that they're specifically looking for him. They find Lars. Why in the hell is Lars confronting with the Inquisitor? Makes no sense. She is putting Luke's life in jeopardy and their mission in jeopardy by doing so. So if he's a hothead, then, and he's confronting her and all of that, then that just dumbs him down as a character, as a protector. He should be getting out of there, making sure that he's not noticed so that their mission isn't lost. So this is what I get from the context here. And Obi-Wan leaving, there's hints that he's going to go and help rescue Leia from an event. We have yet to see that as well, or you guys have yet to see that. So, okay, so going back with the lore, we know that in the past with the original lore, you know, Lars doesn't care for Obi-Wan because he's protective, and that he doesn't trust the Jedi in a sense of keeping Luke safe. He doesn't want, in the New Hope, he doesn't want Luke to become a Jedi because of, you know, the foolish crusades that Obi-Wan's been on and the dangers that, you know, they've been through and stuff. That's already done in A New Hope. All right. So and then going with Kenobi novel, you know, anybody who has, or he forms any type of relationship that can put him in jeopardy, he gets rid of, right? So like Annalene, you know, they started building a relationship. He realized that his focus has to stay with Luke and Luke only. And he helps to resolve a huge issue. I recommend the novel, and there's drama behind that, but I think it's well done with that. And instead of him fleeing, he sends her off in a way, and sends her to a better life, which is pretty what Obi-Wan's about, right? So she gets sent off into a better life. He remains in solitude and exile to protect Luke, right? And then in the Darth Vader novel, Darth Lord Rise of Darth Vader, not Dark, sorry. He finds out who that Vader survived through the holocron news, right? He's at a tavern, a cantina, and he sees it. He nearly flips out. He flees the cantina, and he goes into an alley. Qui-Gon starts communicating with him, and Obi-Wan's like, should I just leave now? What if he finds out I'm here and Luke is born, basically? Should I just go ahead and take Luke and flee? And then what's explained to him by Qui-Gon is that the very essence of Anakin is in Tatooine, so Vader would not come back and, you know, visit the place because he doesn't want Anakin to reawaken or awaken. And so anything that has to do with Anakin is basically dead to Vader, so there should be no worries about that whatsoever. And then later on in the lore, we learn from Legacy Comics that Sharad Het, well, anyways, the son finds Obi-Wan, kind of learns, and I have to revisit the story, but, you know, alludes or learns about Obi-Wan's mission, and they duel, they fight, and he basically shames him by having his mask taken off of him. So now Sharad Het has to leave. Sharad Het has to leave. The son has to leave, and but he keeps he's defeated and stuff, and he keeps this, you know, everything a secret when of Obi-Wan and why he's there and stuff. So what do you guys think? Like, again, the visuals are, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going into the context of what is given so far, what I know, what I see per the movies and the EU, and trying to draw some conclusions here. So what do you guys think? Are you guys anticipating this? Are you not bothering with it? Me, I'm going to just go ahead and still give you guys Kenobi information from the books, the audibles, keeping the original Kenobi in front of you and enjoying the original lore, because right now, as far as I see, that's what's has always kept continuity with George's vision. And, you know, even with the coming duel between Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, I just don't think that they care about continuity at all. They just want the member berries in front of you guys. They just want the excitement and the drama. They have to find ways to create it. So this is what they're doing. They're making Lars look like he has no common sense to protect Luke. And there should be no reason why the Inquisitor should even question or single out Owen Lars himself. And that makes no sense whatsoever, other than just to have drama. So we shall see what's going on. And I look forward to watching everybody's reviews to this that I do normally watch when these shows come out. And thank you guys again for watching. I don't know if I'm going to do any more reviews on this. I just thought I'd give my 2 cents on this when it comes to context of the conversations giving in the trailer. So you guys have a great day, and may the Force be with you.